Hello, this is Egg Chasers. I'm Tim, and this video again is looking, as we build up to the 2023 Six Nations, at some of the ones to watch, some of the rising stars, some of the people whose stock may go to the moon over the next couple of months. I've got 4 more names for you today. 3 that I did on the previous video, so if you haven't seen that one, go and have a look at that, see what you make of those suggestions. 4 more names to come. Tell me what you think of these. Have I missed anyone? Who else do you think is going to have a breakout Six Nations tournament? And yeah, comments, please. And if you haven't already, please do hit subscribe. Really appreciate it. And thanks for the feedback as well. I'm learning as I go. Hopefully the volume is a little better on this one. Is it? Let me know if it's still an issue, and I'll sort it out as I bring you the first name. Ethan Dumortier, 22-year-old back 3 player, primarily for Lyon in France, uncapped. He was in the French Autumn Nations Series squad, but didn't get used by Fabien Galthié. He's in the Six Nations squad again. He plays primarily as a winger, occasionally as a centre. He's been operating as a fullback lately for Lyon as well, so quite a versatile back player. It means he could be ideal for a number 23 shirt, perhaps, I would wager. And Ethan Dumortier is having a fantastic season in the top 14. And even if you don't watch the top 14, I don't watch a great deal of it just because of access to games, but I watch a lot of domestic English and Champions Cup rugby, and I was very, very impressed with him against Saracens in the Champions Cup the other weekend. And he's 6'3". He's very languid, loose, balanced runner. Really like the look of him. And this is from that game against Saracens, where Elliot Daly was his opposite fullback and overshadowed him on the day with a hat-trick. But Ethan Dumortier scored 2 tries. This one just sniping from the base of a ruck, ghosting round the defence. And I think that's just a little hint at the turn of pace that he's got and the way that he reads a game. And what's really interesting when you look at Fabien Galthié's squad is he's retained him in the squad, and he's sent guys like Mathis Lebel back to their club. So I think he's going to get used in that opening game against Italy. Starting, possibly. Oh, look at this, though. Returning a kick like a punt returner in the NFL. Takes it all the way to the house. Little kick, gather, step, and yeah, I mean, he oozes class, this kid. And yeah, I think Fabien Galthié is going to use him in the first game against Italy, potentially off the bench. But the fact that he's still in the squad, and I think there's about a dozen players who have been sent back to their clubs, and he's not one of them, he's going to get his first cap. And watch out for Ethan Dumortier. Very, very exciting talent. Next one for Scotland, Luke Crosbie. Flanker, 6'5", about 17 stone, 25 years of age, plays for Edinburgh, 2 Scotland caps. He's definitely going to add to that in this Six Nations tournament. He is playing brilliantly for Edinburgh. I mean, he has been playing brilliantly for quite a while from Edinburgh, but this is one of those names that might be unfamiliar to a lot of people outside of Scotland and who don't watch much URC, but this is a wrecking ball of a back row player. A real all-rounder, actually. At his size, 6'5", he's a bit bigger than Jamie Ritchie and Hamish Watson, and a little bit more explosive as a ball carrier, which I think complements those two, which are Scotland's first choice two flankers. Could get used as an 8 maybe instead of Matt Fagerson, but this guy's been playing brilliantly. With Hamish Watson an injury doubt, with Rory Darge not being around as well, Luke Crosbie could be the boy for Scotland. Really, really like him. This is some footage from the last couple of years for him for Edinburgh. The way he rides that tackle, gets some yards after contact. This is what I think marks him out as an international player, where you don't get a lot of space and the defences are up on you that little bit quicker. He's got the ability to make a couple of yards even then, and that's going to make him really valuable. That gain line battle is huge at international level, and this is someone that's going to punch holes in the opposition when they have the ball. Without the ball, he's really dangerous as well. But there you see on the defensive side of things, and he's away. He's wearing a 6 on his back there for Edinburgh. Don't be surprised to see him wearing 7, perhaps for Scotland at times. More likely, when everyone's fit, appearing from the bench. But Luke Crosbie on the defensive side of the ball. Look at this tackle up, counter ruck. Brilliant. Wins the pen for his team. Really destructive on both sides of the ball. And definitely one to watch for this tournament. Next name, Jamie Osborne. What is he? Just 21? I think he's 21. He's uncapped, I know that much for certain. He plays for Leinster, has been used as a centre mainly there, but his preferred position is fullback, but a versatile player, which is handy, maybe for making appearances off the bench as well. And with Robbie Henshaw injured and Gary Ringrose sewing up that 13 jersey, he's a class above anyone else. It's a bit more of a discussion about who wears 12 for Ireland, isn't there? You've got Bundy Aki, the more physical, abrasive, but maybe just on the decline slightly. You've got Stuart McCloskey, who hasn't had loads of experience at international rugby, but another big physical guy. This is someone who, if you wanted to play, I mean, he's 6'3", so he's not small, but if you wanted someone to add a different threat from 12, in the way that Robbie Henshaw has an all-round game, I think Jamie Osborne is more like that. And so, do I expect him to start? It would be a bold call if Andy Farrell were to start him. Probably not. Probably not. Probably more likely off the bench. Maybe he'll get a play against Italy, but he's already, his stock's been rising in the last few weeks because of his some performances in the Heineken Champions Cup. But he's one of those guys that the bigger every stage he goes to, he fits right in. This is him on his debut against the Scarlets, on as a replacement, lining up as in the defensive line, and watch him, what he does to the Scarlets fullback. Bosh, good night, back you go, sit down. So he's just got that ability, much like Gary Ringrose, Brian O'Driscoll, Robbie Henshaw, players like this who come in at a young age and just are to the manner born. It seems to be something about the Leinster system. They just bring in guys that are fully formed, ready-made. And here he is against Gloucester the other week, taking the ball straight from Jameson Gibson Park, hard line, step, glide, class. So watch out for Jamie Osborne in Six Nations 2023. And I couldn't leave this video without mentioning Jake Polledri as well. 26 years of age, he's got 17 Italy caps, big, abrasive, physical, ball-carrying back row player. Not a new name to the international stage, but a rising star in the sense that there's an argument to say he shouldn't be playing rugby at the minute. When you look at the injury Jake Polledri received to his leg 2 years ago, it was that bad that he nearly lost his leg. So the fact that he's playing at all right now and he's back in the Italy squad for this Six Nations is a testament to his bloody-mindedness, his commitment, because there must have been some dark times. And I would say the majority of players who had the same injury as Jake Polledri would have just retired. And it's phenomenal that he's even playing rugby at all. What we have to temper is our expectations for this tournament. Do I expect Jake Polledri to be playing for Italy? Not that much, if I'm honest. He's hardly played for Gloucester. This is him before his injury when he is just a rampaging force. But he hasn't been playing for Gloucester when they've had everyone available. He's played in Premiership Cup teams. He's played in completely changed Champions Cup teams. When they've been picking their full first choice team, Jake Polledri hasn't been one of the names there. I'm glad he's back in the Italy squad, but I think we just need to remember it's a long way back for Jake Polledri. Let's see what he can get to by the World Cup. As for this Six Nations, it might come a little bit too soon to be doing some of the stuff that he used to do every week in the Premiership and did for Italy, even when they weren't looking that great. Fantastic player. Also, as well as his injury, just need to remember whilst he was dealing with a potentially life-changing, career-ending, leg-removing injury, he also had to deal with the death of his younger brother. And the guy's got fortitude like no other, and I'm just really happy for Jake Polledri that he is back on the international stage, and wish him the very best. So there's my thoughts. There's some more names, ones to watch, people that I think their stock's going to be much higher at the end of the tournament than it is right now. What do you think of those names? What are the chances of them starting? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are there other names that you would chuck onto that list? Let me know. Leave your comments, and I will see you on the next video.